Hello all my beautiful little unicorns and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, my name is Vanessa Somuayina. You guys know me as your big sis from the internet, as well as your favorite tarot reader and psychic CEO. And in today's pick a card reading, we are going to be stepping into the month of December together. And in order for you to figure out precisely what is coming towards you during the month of December when it comes to love, your career, and your personal life, I have created 3 groups for you to choose from, and I would like you to pick one of these 3 groups intuitively. Group number 1 corresponds to the Botanica Occulta Tarot deck as well as the Cherry Agate Crystal Point. Group number 2 corresponds to my Dark Heart Tarot deck as well as the Celestine Crystal. And group number 3 corresponds to the Muse Tarot deck as well as the Amethyst Crystal. The timestamps to these 3 groups can be found below in the description box as well as pinned to the top of the comment section for quick and easy access from your tablets, your mobile devices, your TVs, and your laptops. So make use of those as these readings are going to be very extensive and detailed. I will now provide you with a little moment of privacy so you can meditate on these 3 groups and then pick the group that you feel the most drawn towards. I always recommend you go with your first gut instinct and you don't overthink it. So I'll give you a little moment of privacy and then I'll be getting right into the readings with the first group, which corresponds to the Botanica Occulta Tarot and the Cherry Agate Point. So if that's the group that you chose, then simply continue watching, and to my other 2 beautiful groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamps. Hello, my fabulous, gorgeous souls of group number 1. You chose the Botanica Occulta Tarot deck as well as the Cherry Agate Crystal Point. So let's get straight into your reading. This is the beautiful Cherry Agate, which is an absolutely stunning crystal. It's giving off this very demure, very calm, grounding energy. So I'll put your crystal right up here for us to move into your December predictions. So we'll be stepping into everything from your career to love to your personal life. We will allow for all of the messages to come through from your guides and from the universe so you can have as much clarity for this upcoming month as possible. And you guys also don't forget, I just posted the 2025 mega love story predictions where I've got a pick a card, I've got all zodiac signs that have their own individual readings, as well as all life path numbers. It's literally 27 individual groups that I did within that reading. So make sure that you check that out because there's nothing else like it on the internet and it is super, super personalized. So let's get into your reading. First up, we have the Knight of Swords. So this is the Knight of Air signs coming into your life during the month of December. The Knight of Swords is someone who is outspoken, intelligent, and they are still in the beginning phases of who they can become in their career. So they may be an intern at a law firm. They may be an intern when it comes to the law department. In general, I'm getting computer science. I'm getting someone who deals with a lot of law things and also numbers, a lot of legal procedures, and someone who's a little bit cold when it comes to their demeanor. All right, so let's see what else we've got here. Then we have the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups, on the other hand, is like the complete opposite of the Knight of Swords. There are only 4 knights in an entire 78 card tarot deck. So for you to receive both of them basically fighting over you, group number 1, during the month of December, shows us that you get to pick from 2 very polar opposite vibes. The Knight of Cups represents Cancerian, Scorpio, and Pisces kind of energy that is heavy in their birth chart. And they are someone who is far more connected to their emotions. They are a creative. They can be a little crazy, a little bit strange at times, but you really like the fact that they are outspoken and that it's easier to read them. But they give you a tinge less stability than the Knight of Swords. That's what I'm getting here in your reading right now, group number 1. And I also want us to add some initials into this. All right, so here we have GRV, or VGR. And then for the Knight of Cups, let's see what we'll receive. For the Knight of Cups, we've got E and L. So I want you to understand that these two individuals coming into your life, that's going to make the month of December very interesting. That's going to shape your month of December profoundly. Let's see in which way. We've got the Moon. All right, Queen of the Night, the Moon. Now, the Moon is a card that represents your intuition. As we already spoke about, you're going to have to pick. And I advise that you pick with your intuition. You pick with what feels right to you. The Moon also brings very changeable energy, so I'm not surprised if during the month of December you first land on one of these two nights that you are more interested in, and then you kind of flip the switch. You still change your mind very last minute. If you're in a committed relationship, you of course don't have to engage with the Knight of Swords or the Knight of Cups, but they're both here wanting to get closer to you. They're both part of your life during the month of December in a way that I can sense goes beyond just having respect for who you are professionally and what you do on a day-to-day basis. They are interested in your soul and who you are privately. Now, the Queen of Cups brings the very nurturing, calm energy. The month of December is a month of you being in control of your emotions, but I also see you having some emotional outbursts, okay? The Moon and the Queen of Cups shows us that you are very in tune with your body. And that means that when your body is going through it, when there are certain fluctuations throughout the month, you will feel like you want to be close to your emotions. And that might mean crying. That might mean just letting everything out that you had within you, that you have been holding in, that you haven't been able to properly express. And it's definitely something that's going to shock and surprise even yourself during the month of December. And the Moon also tells us here that what is coming towards you are some opportunities you didn't expect. Then we have the Queen of Water, which is basically the same card as the Queen of Cups that we received. It's just two different decks. All right, so the Queen of Cups here, that's one way to describe it. It's a traditional name. And then the Queen of Water is a little bit of a more contemporary approach to tarot in this Dreams of Gaia deck. And this deck is not sponsored. I purchased this with my own money, and I absolutely love this deck. I've had it for years. So the Queen of Water, aside from beauty and the symbol of Cancer being very much close to your emotions, the Queen of Water tells me here that you're taking things slow. I see deception that will be seen way in advance. So the Knight of Swords or the Knight of Cups, one of them is not telling you the truth. And you don't need for them to come clean. You can already feel when people aren't telling you the truth. You have a very, very, very sharp sixth sense, an innate way of knowing if someone is actually on your side or not. And here within the boot, your guides are trying to say to you, look, you have to focus on increasing your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. And increasing your efforts to achieve your goals means different things in December. Increase your efforts in the sense of making decisions about your love life. Stop allowing for people to be half in, half out. Are you in or are you out? Then when it comes to your career, same thing. No half in, no half out, and no talking about how you want to do the thing. That's not doing the thing. No procrastinating, doing what you need to do. That is also not doing the thing. No anxiety over the fact that you're not doing what needs to be done. That is, again, not solving the problem. It's not doing the thing. So we have the ant and the apple. You are actually a very hard worker. I see that here within the ant. And the apple is a symbol of temptation. So December is just so full of temptation And I'm getting that here when it comes to food, festivities, alcohol, parties, and so on. So Spirit is trying to say to you for December, like, you have to increase your effort to stay focused in December in particular, because December is just one of those times, one of those months. Excuse me, my mic is kind of wobbling around a little. So December is just one of those times, one of those months where there's temptation everywhere. It's so easy to fall off the bandwagon with having a healthy diet, with living healthily, with exercising, and so on. And your guides are trying to remind you of how hard you worked all of these months. Don't let it slip and fall into this like depressive state of, oh no, now I've let go for a day, for 2 days, for 2 weeks, and then it's like, I might as well give up, I might as well just be unhealthy again, or I might as well just give up on my fitness goals. No, don't do that, because you don't need the additional emotional ups and downs during December. It's already going to be filled with enough decision making, emotionally speaking, and the Tower showed us here that you've got a solid foundation. So there's a lot of success that comes your way with effort, because you're like the only one putting in effort. That's what I see here in December. So that's what I see here for you, group number 1. You are the only one that's putting this intense amount of effort into all areas of their life, but especially also manifesting. And you guys, I have my Psychic CEO membership linked in the description if you're very serious about manifesting and you also want to use tarot basically as a business tool. This is a business expense. Then make sure that you check out Psychic CEO, because there are about 400 individual modules that tell you everything about success, about tarot. There are daily tarot readings for you to receive within the membership. And I teach you lots of manifestation methods, like the 369 method, like accessing your subconscious. And I also show you how you can create your own decks, publish them, how you can create an online business or improve a business that you already have. So that's for those of you who are really serious. And every week there are new modules, there are new teachings. And the testimonials that I've had of people who have literally quadrupled their income, who have built their own successful businesses from scratch based on these teachings, it's insane. So the link to that is below. What Spirit wants you to focus on in December is to continue building, is to continue learning, is to continue investing in your solid foundation. And that means to invest in yourself. That means to take care of yourself in a way that makes you feel comfortable in your body. That means to take care of your affairs. Open all of that unopened mail. Get back to all of those emails before the new year, because we don't want to step into 2025 with old baggage. So you are basically the only one that's going through a lot of motions and rituals in December. That's what I'm seeing here. And then another thing I'm getting here is this Leo energy, which is a fire sign that has a lot of masculine energy to it. And I see that you will be implementing something like the 369 manifestation method, where you have a manifestation ritual every single day, and you're noticing like, wow, these rituals that I employ, and sometimes I switch them out, I do different ones, but they really pay off. Like those 20 minutes that I invest every single day in attuning myself to the energy that I desire to express and to be and to attract really makes a difference. And that's what I see within the sweet corn, that you have these rituals, be it incense, be it, different manifestation methods, getting a daily reading, for example, and you're all in when it comes to that. And the violet confirms you are in a space of tranquility. The violet also corresponds to the zodiac sign of Pisces. And in case you didn't know that, the moon, this tarot card, is also connected to the zodiac sign of Pisces. Now, what does that mean? Pisces is a water sign, and we have this Queen of Cups energy that showed up twice. So water sign energy is big for you in December. It's an emotional month. It's a month of celebrating with loved ones, but also grieving and having a moment of silence and tranquility for those who aren't with you during this festive period, for those with whom you thought you would be spending this time with, but it's not possible. But the connection isn't there, either because they are no longer with us, or the connection was not as strong as you hoped that it would be. And having some moments of tranquility in December is allowing for you to actually take time to heal, to actually take time to do better for yourself, emotionally speaking, because the Magician tells me you're the one in your family who's the grand organizer. Like, if you're not keeping things glued together, if you're not keeping people in check, if you're not making the dinner reservations and time to meet up and suggesting birthday get-togethers and vacations and spending time together during the holidays, you're really the magician in the family. And when you take yourself a little bit away, not only do less things actually transpire and happen, but actually it's less stress for you. And it also just shows you once again how important that you truly are in your family unit and within your community. Now, the Knight of Swords reversed gives us a clear answer about what was going on here with the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Cups, right? So the Knight of Swords is not a match. He enters in December, he leaves in December. The Knight of Swords is not here to stay. The Knight of Swords is not reliable. The Knight of Swords is basically just a little distraction. It's just a blip. It's just a gnat. The best thing you do with the Knight of Swords is just ignore. You don't need the Knight of Swords anywhere near you. You don't need their energy because they are just a distraction. They've proven that they are here within your December prediction. So let's see what else Spirit wants to communicate. All right. And you know why? Because you're focused on things that are solid only. And the Tower literally represents a solid foundation. The Tower, it literally says here solid foundation. Solid has also showed up twice within your reading. So there are a lot of synchronicities and reiterations here by your guides within your December prediction. So solid is a three-dimensional geometric figure or object, a substance that resists change in shape, unlike a liquid or gas, a shape that is three-dimensional and not flat. So something solid is the only thing that interests you for the month of December. Solidity, that's important. Things that you can count on and rely on, where you can rest assured that it will remain, that's where your focus lies during the month of December. And that's a huge explanation why we have the Queen of Water here twice. I'm also getting this mother energy. So this energy of a mother who has always been solid, like a motherly or a grandmother type of figure that you can rely on, that's here, that's putting on the Christmas dinner, that's making sure the get-togethers are happening. I'm getting this mother figure that knows you so well, but that you're also, in a way, also morphing into. You're getting more of the solid mom energy with you, and has nothing to do with quite literally being a mom. It is the energy, because even as a teen or as someone in their 20s, you can be that mom friend of the group, depending on what kind of like chores are given to you, depending on who you are emotionally speaking. So it is an energy. It has nothing to do with age or with having biological children. And this solid energy is what I see here that you're giving for December. And that's what draws people into you, because people want a person they can rely on. Now, group number one, I am sensing there's so much more to December that we have to unravel for you. So I will clear and cleanse the space right now, and then I'll be right back to guide you into your prediction of the month of December, so we can get into even more details that Spirit is just screaming at me has to be unleashed, and that you have to receive to be prepared and to feel like you've got this. So just hold on tight, group number one, and I'll be right back to guide you even more deeply into your prediction. All right, my gorgeous soul of group number 1, welcome back to your December prediction. I want us to add some Astro dice into your reading as well, and for us to delve more deeply into it, because I know there's more information coming towards us. All right, first up here within your reading, we've got this Capricorn energy going on that we received here with our Astro dice. So this Capricorn energy is the type of energy that I want you to be aware is solid, that I want you to be aware is super hardworking, and it's just the kind of energy that is ruled by Saturn that's very ambitious. So you're going to try to accomplish everything you can before the new year. You're not playing around, and it's just really important for you to find time to create the kind of life of your dreams and to make sure you're starting off 2025 on the best possible note. So let's see what else we're going to receive. We also have Taurus energy here. All right, so another earth sign. You're being very grounded and practical. All right, December is a month of practicality. It is a month of like getting your inbox down to 0, even if you have to mark everything as red. It is a month of tidying up your desk, of revamping your house, of creating a vision board for 2025, of just kind of clearing out any old mail, any old bills as well, and being really responsible. That's what I see here for December for you. And then we have the moth. You're really drawn to shiny things in December. So putting up, for example, a very shiny tree with super shiny sparkly ornaments, enjoying all of the decor that is very shiny, that is filled with light. Moths are attracted to the light, and I see that you are attracted to spaces that are filled with light during the month of December, whether that light be natural or artificial. Whenever there is a little bit of sun outside, you are out there, you're going on walks, you're spending time outside in the nature wherever you can, or at least making sure that if you're out for drinks or dinner, if there is some sort of opportunity to sit outside, even if it's like under a heating lamp, or depending on where you live, there's like a nice breeze, you're gonna do that, because to you that vitamin D and fresh air is so necessary, because you're spending a lot of time organizing, a lot of time indoors on your laptop. You're happy for it, but you also need the balance. Here within the mouse, I see that you're really detail-oriented during the month of December. You're paying attention to all of the little things like we spoke about. You're so practical, you're so organized. You are in a state of paying attention to all of the little mice within your life, because you know it will irk you to step into 2025 not having dealt with these little mice and not having tended to these things, not having dealt with them. The mouse does also tell me here that you have a little bit of this energy of not wanting to attract more attention in December than you already are, because that might mean more work, it might mean more responsibilities. But the unicorn and the sea serpent shows me here that you have a very mystical, unique, one-of-a-kind aura and energy to you, group number 1. So it's kind of hard for you to really go incognito. It's kind of hard for you to really fly under the radar, because you're really just not that kind of person, and people can't really ignore your energy when you enter a room. It's hard to not notice you. It's hard to not pay attention to you. So people stare. I see here in the unicorn, you have the unspoken it factor, that if you've ever watched one of these shows, I mean, where I live, it used to be like DS and like Germany's Next Top Model and stuff, which is like, I guess, equivalent to The Voice, and these other shows, America's Next Top Model, you know, just all of these shows where there are contestants, and some of them, they might be talented or pretty or funny, but then there are others who really just have, as mentioned, that unspoken it factor. you just see them on the screen and you're like, that person is a winner. That person has something that I can't describe. I can't tell you what it is, but they've got something that makes them a star. They've got something that makes them different and interesting and makes them the kind of person that you just know is either going to go really far or is going to win the entire thing. And that's one thing that is undeniable about you. And as much as you try to kind of make yourself small in December, not because you don't love yourself or you don't want to give yourself space, but because you're trying to kind of fly under the radar so you don't get invited to even more get-togethers, so you don't get tempted to take on more work, it's really, really hard anywhere you go for people to not notice that you're there. Now, the Princess of Wands tells me here that to you, you're still getting used to this, especially because growing up, it was a time where you were made to feel like you're not attractive, like you're not worthy, like something about you is wrong. And I am getting this like childhood bully that's speaking within your reading, and for initials we have L and a blank rune. So a childhood bully whose initials have an L, and I want you to know here with the Princess of Wands, what this represents is the kind of person who was so fiery and negative with you. They always tried to push you to your limit. They always tried to push you to discomfort. And seeing this next to the mouse, I can feel that you are kind of regressing a little bit back into that in December, not because you're trying to, it's more by coincidence because you're making yourself more unseen. And that's what you used to try to do growing up, like in middle school and high school. You wanted to be as invisible as possible, and you're trying to employ that during December as well. And the Five of Cups just tells me it's not working. It's not something that you're really attuned to, even physically, because your presence is just so big, energetically speaking, group number one. So the Five of Cups tells me that you will try. You might fail a little at it, but it's okay, group number one. You will be able to get through December setting some boundaries too, because the sea serpent is an indication that you have understood that what you allow will continue, what you permit will carry on, and you're not permitting things that you don't believe in and you don't want. I see that here in the Hierophant. Your importance lies on making sure that you're actually living a life you believe in. So if you believe in work-life balance, you're actually living the work-life balance. If you believe in not harming any other creatures, you actually live that way as well. And I do see here in the Hierophant a reconnection to religion. That doesn't mean you're going to become, the next priest or priestess or anything like that. It doesn't mean that you're going to be going to church every Sunday if you haven't up until this point. It simply means you can see it and appreciate the parts of it that resonate, and where you see that it's actually giving people a reason, a purpose to be kind, to be good, to be understanding, to be accepting. Now, the Seven of Swords shows me here that there is this Grinch situation during the month of December that's coming full circle, and you will completely understand what was going on all this time. Now, let me explain. The sea serpent gives us a full circle moment. The Seven of Swords shows us here that there is someone who has been acting strange coming up to Christmas time. And acting strange in the sense of they have changed their tune because they want to benefit during Christmas. It's like they want to get a better gift. They want to stay on your good side, so they get invited to places. I see here within the Chariot that coming from a place of being cold to you and then all of a sudden trying to be friends with you, for me, it reminds me of when I was growing up, and I was obviously wildly unpopular and did not have many friends and was bullied a lot. And when it was my birthday and I brought cake to school, And I always try to get my mom to get me like the most outlandish, coolest cake, because that is the only day people would leave me alone or even be nice to me because they wanted more cake. That's what I'm getting here in the Seven of Swords and Princess of Wands, and this like bully whose initial has an L with the Chariot. They're trying to be on the fast track, in the fast lane to being your friend, in the fast lane to benefiting from you. And obviously, at this stage in your life, it's not about cake, it's about other pleasantries. And we've got the Hierophant again, which corresponds to the number 5, which in numerology is a number of conflict, spiritual conflict as well. That's why this is showing up twice within your reading, because when people are so close to you energetically, it affects you. When people who are not clean and pure when it comes to their intent are so close to you, or even trying to get something from you, it shows up within your reading because it energetically affects you. And you're protected. I see that here in both cards of the Hierophant, okay? You are protected. You are divinely guided. You know how to deal with people who are fake. You know what to do here. We've got the Queen of Swords. You just cut them off and you tell them very clearly that regardless of how they're behaving now, it's too late, all right? Now the time has come and gone. You had your opportunity, and this is how things go in our relationship and our connection. It's not going to be any different. Take it or leave it. That's the Queen of Swords energy. You are not changing direction, and the King of Swords shows me here that when you are challenged, you back it up even more fiercely. And I want to remind you that one of the things that you should best do when you're being challenged, just be even more fierce, just be even more self-assured, even more certain. Just give even less room for people to try to push you around, and give them even less confidence to treat you any way that is inhumane, that isn't kind, or that just isn't how you want to be treated. It doesn't even have to go to the point where it's inhumane and it's unkind. Like, if you don't like it, that's already enough reason not to accept it. And you absolutely don't have to accept anything you don't want to accept, group number 1. And that's where I'm seeing in the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords, you're immediately creating a huge cut. You're immediately getting rid of these situations that are uncomfortable and unnecessary. You're literally not allowing it. Let's see what else Spirit has to say. So we've got S, and we've got T, and we've got T again. So S, T, T. There is something going on here with a very sharp kind of intonation. So after giving sought a quick little Google, because I felt as though this must mean something, apparently sought in Russian means business. It means some sort of dealings, all right? Or 100 in Russian. So I want you to know here, there's something going on during the month of December, some sort of spending money dealings where you're being very clear about what you want in return for that money, and you're not letting anyone famous you, you're not letting anyone play you any longer. And we've got E and A, because that time has just come and gone. You're absolutely not into that any longer, of just being so kind that people take advantage of you. All right, and then we also have Y2. So we have a big fat yes as well within your reading. And the month of December, I already have this vision for you, group number 1, that it is a big fat yes, and a big fat amazing start into 2025. And then we also have OTTA, OTA, and I want us to have a little bit of phonetic mercy on this situation, because what I'm getting here is this kind of like otter spirit energy, the otter spirit being a water element type of animal, the otter being filled with this energy of spending time with family, with friends, of bringing people closer together and keeping at arm's length these like frenemies, these people who try to pretend like they have your best interests at heart, but we've all seen it, we all know it. There is nothing but self-interest with a lot of people during the month of December, and it really shows during this festive period because it's just so transparent, you know, when someone is trying to like pretend that they like you when they really don't. And then we also have skirt. All right, skirt by definition means to go around the edge of a place or thing, to avoid talking about something unpleasant, be on pass along the edge of. So not skirt in the sense of fashion, even though we do also have a skirt here, which tells me that skirt belongs to the Princess of Wands. We don't have a skirt in anyone else. Everyone else is wearing pants. All right, and here within skirt, to go around the edge of a place, to avoid talking about something unpleasant, that's exactly what the Princess of Wands is trying to do. To avoid talking about something unpleasant they did, they don't want to own up to it, they want to just scurry around it, skirt around it during the month of December, basically. But no, group number one, you here came to slay, and the sword is basically the sword of truth. Truth is the sword that slays everything but itself. And to you, that's your motto. You know the truth, and anything that is not the truth will be slain by your sword. And the sword is a symbol of intellect, of logic, of speaking up, of communication. So yeah, you are slaying intellectually. You're slaying through your communication. You're letting people know when they've messed up, when they've done something. It doesn't matter how unpleasant it may be. The time where you let stuff slide, it really came and it went again. Group number one, it really left a while ago. The time for you being understanding has been taken, not by choice, but out of a form of self-defense. And 2025, good luck to everyone. Good luck to all of the people who thought that the naive part of you was still alive. Now, group number one, not to get dark, but we have some more messages that I have for you about December. So just hold on tight. We'll delve a little more deeply into this, and we'll figure out what else that your guides and spirit has to say to you. Welcome back, group number one. Did you miss me? So let's delve a little more deeply into this prediction for you, shall we? Let's see what your guides have to say about December. So December here brings the fig, which is a symbol of vitality. We also have a symbol of the snake here, and then the apple. The apple stands for continuance, but the apple is also symbolic of something here that is seductive, something here that is tempting. Now, I see here in the fig and the apple that what will continue is your vitality, group number one. This vanilla black tea with oat milk is really hitting tonight. And why your vitality will have this continuance is because you are letting go of you feeling like you're a person who isn't healthy. And that's where health begins. It has to be an internal shift. Everything starts on the inside. As I like to tell you guys in my manifestation classes, in everything that I teach you on how to actually become like the psychic CEO of your life and being able to kind of foresee what's happening and then therefore make changes accordingly, so you don't have to deal with a lot of heartache, heartbreak, and challenges that regular people deal with who are not in tune as we are as psychic CEOs. Everything starts from your internal landscape, and the cauliflower tells me you're successfully making this transition from quote-unquote regular person, from quote-unquote normie, to being highly emotionally in tune, highly physically in tune with your body too. We have master number 11 here, and also the symbol of Cancer, which is actually my zodiac sign, my sun sign, and it is a very emotional and very sensitive water sign. that knows exactly what's going on with its body and its feelings at all times. Here we have the element of earth, which represents cauliflower, but with the fig and the apple, we actually have the element of water represented, which makes a lot of sense, as we do have here the zodiac sign of Cancer. Earth, we have Taurus, and then here within earth we had cauliflower, right? And then here with the apple we actually have Capricorn, which is an earth sign. So earth as well as water energy is one thing that I see so healing, so soothing to you during the month of December, and is helping you to make those shifts internally. So your emotions and also your time. Your time is what the earthly symbol and element represents. Your time, your health, and also investing in yourself. Here we have the Knight of Crystals reversed. I see here that a fire sign kind of person, we spoke about this a little earlier within your reading. The Knight of Crystals shows them leaving, a transition of them out of your life. But I see mostly here just stress leaving your life. Month of December is really like a reset month, and it's a month where you're thinking back and you're like, all of the things that I used to stress about, why did I ever even stress about them again? Because it's not really even worthy of so much overthinking and so many stressors. The Six of Cups shows me that family gatherings and get-togethers with those closest to you is going to be something that really helps you in December feel vital, that makes you feel like you've got your life together, that makes you feel like, you know what, the fact that I haven't accomplished all of my goals yet, it doesn't matter that much anyways. It's the journey, not the destination. The destination is like 1% of it, so I might as well learn to love the journey. I might as well be that person who gets excited about the journey, who gets excited about even kind of failure, so to say, because every time you fail but you try again, you make it impossible for failure to be a permanent state. You make it impossible to not get better and to not actually end up with what you want. Then we have the Queen of Crystals reversed. The Knight of Crystals and the Queen of Crystals both reversed. The Suit of Crystals in my Gentle Heart Tarot deck. This is the first deck that I ever published. It is available on Amazon in the US, by the way. Now, the Queen of Crystals and the Knight of Crystals showing up in reverse. This clearly indicates to us, group number 1, fire signs and too much fiery energy is not your thing. And you can be a fire sign yourself and be like, I don't even want to deal with that part of myself. I'm done with like the endless to-do lists. I'm done with like never being done, never having everything completed, and always feeling like there's so many like loose ends that need to be tied up, and so on and so forth. So I just see like all of that kind of energy and momentum. You're like, get this away from me. I don't want this. I don't want to deal with that kind of emotional labor and that kind of heaviness anymore. You just really want to live like a chill existence. I also want us to add some charms into your reading, group number 1. Okay, I love how we have received a horse here. All right, I hope you can see that. Then we've got a tree, and then we have a ship's wheel. I believe that's what it's called. So the horse is obviously representative of freedom, but also the Knight of Crystals who's leaving. And here we have nature, we've got the tree, we've got groundedness. So for you, freedom is rooted in stability. Freedom is rooted when you have something under control. Notice how this horse does not have, I don't know what it's called in English. In German, it's like, you know, this stuff, wo man so die Zügel befestigt, where you can kind of steer the horse, if you will. I guess like the headpiece, the reins, the noseband, the cheek piece, the throat latch. So I just quickly Googled it. There are a lot of different bits and bobs and pieces to this, but the one that we received as a charm is the one that is quote unquote controllable and tame. The one that's leaving your life is the one that isn't tame, as you can see. So you're not tolerating any kind of form of disrespect or anyone who seems too crazy and to untame. I see with the ship's wheel, you want to be able to steer where things are going. And no, group number one, you are not a control freak. Who can fault you for wanting to have a say? For so long in your life, you had no say. For so long in your life, that privilege, or shall I say basic human right, was stripped away from you. And coming to this realization that actually you allow for people to treat you a certain way, at least at this point in your life. And what that means is that when you put your foot down, when you create your boundaries, there are some people who won't like it, but who will be too fearful to fight against it or do anything against it, and they would rather just leave. And here with the Queen of Crystals and the black cat, which stands for independence, but also in reverse, it shows the negative sides of someone who is like this hyper independent person, this person who by no means wants to get too attached or be too involved emotionally. I'm getting actually narcissists leaving your life because they can tell you're not going to play the game. They can tell that they can't control you. And there are a lot of people who are narcissistic or psychopaths where when they realize that you will not be isolated and taken away from your friends and family, because I see that here in the Six of Cups, that's not happening ever again, that they would rather leave than try to reform someone who is too strong. You being a very strong person emotionally, mentally, that is what makes them kind of like step away. That's what makes them think, this is not really worth it, because this person is probably going to call me out and is probably going to make me look really bad publicly. That's the narcissist's biggest fear, to be outed publicly as a narcissist and as a bad person. Now, here within the Four of Wands, I see you receiving like a gift basket, a goodie basket. We've got flowers, we've got food, we've got nourishment, we've got something in a bow here that looks almost like wands. So I see you getting also like incense for Christmas. All right, I see you getting, I know this sounds really weird, but some sort of map. Something old, something very old, like a family heirloom. Something very old, but that you're gonna cherish immensely. Then we have the Four of Swords, and this explains exactly why. Something that belonged to your grandparents or great-grandparents already, the ones that are no longer with us in the flesh. And the Four of Swords shows us here that this is going to be a beautiful, sentimental, and yet very emotional thing for you to receive during the month of December. I am also getting here like a jewelry that has a flower motif, something with a fishing rod motif on it as well. Perhaps I was getting a map. Now I'm getting a picture of like grandfather, great-grandfather fishing, holding a fishing rod with his catch, and seeing that image in like black and white in this brownish kind of color. And here we have the Six of Wands for you. The Six of Wands is giving me actually a swampy kind of area. Okay, I see plants that are jolting out just like this near the water. And I am also getting this childhood revisitation of a place you used to go on vacation with your parents and with your grandparents and other family members here for the month of December. Thinking back at it, looking at photos of it, and cooking the same food that you used to have there. Okay, and having this moment of revisiting it so intensely, like it happened yesterday. And then here in the King of Wands, what I'm getting is actually the type of fire signs you get along with are only older male fire signs who have themselves under control. Fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, in case you didn't know. So here we have the daffodil and the willow, And I see that that's where you can connect, because you like people who are mature, who are sensible, and from whom you can learn. And that's what I do see here within the King of Wands. And I am getting this support from the King of Wands for you. So an older male figure during the month of December that can see how much it means to you to spend time with family and to understand more about your origin story and your ancestors. And I see you getting more days off than you expected in December, more days to relax, more days off, more days with family, and more days to recuperate, which also makes a lot of sense why we've got the fig and vitality, why your vitality will continue, because you feel appreciated and you feel seen. And when you feel appreciated and seen, you want to keep going, if that makes sense. It's hard when you feel depleted completely, right? So that's not what's happening. You feel complete, you feel seen, you feel taken care of, and you feel like seen in a sense of others actually understanding what is important to you and giving you what is important to you. All right, Spirit literally confirms this through giving us this beautiful message of relax, to spend time resting or doing things for pleasure, especially in contrast to or as a relief from the effort and stress of everyday life, or shall I say the effort and stress that you put in throughout 2024, my gorgeous soul. So this is your very well-rounded December 2024 prediction, group number 1, and I trust that this resonated for you, that you found it insightful. I have my special Psychic CEO offer below in the description box, which is only for my YouTube subscribers, for all of you who are very serious and want to dig deeper and also just want to use the Psychic CEO methods, not just for life altogether, but in love, but in business. And what I love about that space is that it's just more intimate. All of the readings in there are for a way smaller group. You can reach out to me within the community, and I get to share all of my manifestation videos in there with you. And we get to really grow and change our lives. Now, my gorgeous soul of group number 1, make sure that you leave a horse emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know you were here, you received your December prediction, and that it resonated and you loved it, and that you loved all of the details that we got into. So group 1, wherever you are on this beautiful planet that we call home, I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of our upcoming readings. Hello, my beautiful soul of group number 2. You chose my Dark Heart Tarot deck as well as the Celestine crystal. This is the stunning Celestine. I love this baby blue crystal. It has a very calming effect on anyone who holds this crystal, wears it, or has it within their vicinity. And energy is something that transcends space and time. It transcends the 3D. So allow for its healing vibrations to seep through your screen and to provide you with healing vibes throughout your psychic prediction for the month of December. So let's see precisely what is coming towards you during December. First up, we have the Ace of Crystals. This is the Ace of the element of fire. As the suit of crystals I created within this deck is the suit of the element of fire. Now, the Ace always represents a fresh beginning, and there's a fresh beginning here. When it comes to creative pursuits, there's a fresh beginning here. When it comes to something that sparks a fire in you, that brings you joy, that makes you want to build. It makes you want to build a fort. So this is either a romantic new beginning or a new beginning when it comes to a business idea that can make money for you and with which you can quite literally afford to live in your dream fort or dream mansion. And the Ace of Crystals shows that December is going to give you opportunity to see that through. And the Emperor shows us that you are in complete control of this, my gorgeous soul of group number 2. The Emperor corresponds to the number 4, which in numerology is a number of creating a stable foundation. Notice how we have all of these rams around the peripheral of the card as well. So I want you to understand here, with holding this globe in his hands as the Emperor, which is a representation of what is happening here in December, you hold the power. I do also want you to know the Ace of Crystals and the Emperor can indicate and can be a strong sign you have an Emperor coming into your life. You have someone coming into your life who is very headstrong, who is very stubborn, and with whom a new and exciting connection will start. And you don't just connect in a sensual way, in a way of being intimate with one another and being attracted physically to one another. The Ace of Crystals shows that there is something far deeper, far more profound going on, that awakens a part of you that feels like, oh my goodness, is this my twin flame? Is this my long lost soulmate? Because something is going on within me that I simply don't even know how to describe. Now, the Two of Crystals brings us a message that the month of December is decision time. You cannot bring everything with you into the new year. And what I mean by that is you are deciding what you want to focus on for 2025, because you've noticed you are a mutable person in the sense of you're flexible, okay? You are adaptable, you're communicative, you're resourceful. That is what mutable means. But one thing that you also notice is that you tend to spread yourself too thin at times. And to avoid that, you literally have to let go of some projects. You have to let go of some ideas. It's not forever. It's only until you have gotten really good at something, you figured it out, and then you move into the next project. So it's not so much about giving in to your dreams, like quitting on your dreams. It's not about that. It's about picking one dream and one goal at a time and then pursuing that relentlessly, like an emperor, like a king, like a queen, like someone who knows what they want and what they're doing. Next up here, we've got the tarantula, and I hope you have no fear of spiders, especially these hairy, big tarantulas. But I want you to know here in the Two of Crystals, you will see a tarantula within a couple days of you receiving this psychic prediction. A very big hairy spider, bigger than anyone you have seen in a very, very long time, my gorgeous soul. And I want to tell you precisely how many days this is happening. 8 days after you have received this reading. Mark your calendar, all right? Just a little over a week from now, you will be startled by this huge tarantula, and you will be like, where the hell did this come from? How is this even still alive at this time of the year? And why are you here, tarantula? Let me tell you why tarantula is here, group number 2. It is here to tell you that you are on the right path. In the very moment where you notice the tarantula, notice also what you have decided for yourself in that moment. Because in that moment, you will be thinking about what projects you really want to go full force with during 2025. It could be finally doing your dream job, finally building that dream business, finally learning tarot, finally being part of a community that loves you, that accepts you, finally finding a partner, doing your dream life. Because the zebra tells me here that for a long time you tried to blend in, you tried to fit in as a form of self-protection. But I see that it's undeniable, group number 2. You cannot continue to live like that because it's not your full expression. And here within the Emperor, I see that you are taking complete control again of your life and your destiny. And you're taking complete control again because you've understood that nobody is coming to save you. And if you just kind of coast along with wherever the ocean, the wind, the weather takes you, you're not going to end up where your goals are. If you ask someone who climbed Everest how they got there, they're not going to tell you, I don't know. If you ask someone at the Olympics, well, how did you manage to win the Olympics? They're not going to tell you, oh, I don't know, it just sort of happened. That's never going to happen, group number 2. I see here within the shark, you're understanding that a lot of times people don't want to share how hard they have worked. Those are the real sharks. The real sharks make things look easy. The real sharks, they just do their thing and they're alone. And you're becoming a real shark. December is telling me here that on the outside, you may literally look like a little cute pufferfish, my gorgeous soul of group number 2. Leave a pufferfish emoji below in the comment section. If you have a baby face, if you are the kind of person who looks and acts younger than they actually are, leave the little pufferfish below, because that is hands down the cutest fish emoji that emojis have to offer. But just know here within the shark, like, who you actually are on the inside is a shark. Who you actually are in your soul is a predator. And December is a time where you are finally learning how to express it safely. And that makes you a unicorn, because you're a very special group number 2 in the sense of you're an empath and a predator at the same time. So you are kind and caring, and you will not step over someone's toes if you can help it, just to get to your goals. You will not use and discard people just to your advantage and then move on. You're not going to eat people alive like a shark. You're not a complete shark. You are that hybrid, that breed between unicorn and shark, where you care, you're empathetic, but you've also realized that there are times where you must put your needs first, and where you have to decide to relentlessly pursue what you want for your life to look the way you want for your life to look. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. And that's what I see here within the shark and the unicorn. We've also got the firefly that appeared for you. Now the firefly shows us here coming to the light, right? Being a tiny little firefly that doesn't necessarily live very long, but you're going to do big things. Not to say you won't live long, group number 2. What I mean is that this phase of December is not long-lived. This very shark-like phase, this extreme leadership phase, this very relentless energy. It's not something you have all the time. This is a time where you are experiencing it in December, and you're experiencing it because your body can tell it must come now, that it is decision time for you. You can no longer be in limbo. You can't be in an in-between state. Now is a time for you to decide what you want and where you're going, group number 2. You can no longer just let things happen at a whim in your life. And the firefly shows that all eyes are on you. The month of December will be a month of stepping into almost being like a target for other people, right here within the Emperor, because they can see you're a natural born leader. But what I also get here in the 8 of Water is that actually it gives you this complete alignment when you're in this leadership role where you're really fearless. Like, you actually don't care who stands before you. When you're in this energy of being a shark and a leader, you will tell anyone to piss off, regardless of who they are, even if they're an MMA fighter, whether they're a real shark or whether they're someone who could, seriously, like, give a little squabble back. You don't care. When you know that you're in the right, or you know it's time for you to stand up for what means something to you and stand up for the underdog, you will do it regardless of the dangers that are there, because you know that when you show intimidation, that's when bullies get even more ravenous. That's when they salivate even more. That's when they start foaming at the mouth. And you're not allowing that. How do you know that, group number 2? It's the unfortunate story that you have had a challenging past in childhood with bullies, with being bullied, and with being tested in your patience and your kindness. And here the 9 of Water is actually a highly favorable card. You can't see it as well in this deck. Every deck, of course, is a little different, but just know the 9 of Water, which is the 9 of Cups card, is actually a quote-unquote genie in a bottle card. I like to call it that because it is a card that allows you to basically wish for something that will come to fruition. This is a manifestation card. And I want you to know here that if you're looking to find actual ways, like the 369 method, like alignment meditations and so on, to really manifest the life that you desire, I'm talking material objects, I'm talking health, I'm talking true love, check out my new psychic, well, it's not new, I've got almost 400 modules in it, but it's new in the sense that it is now a membership. So you don't just have to get one course. It's super spread out to the point where you get to cancel anytime you would want to, which nobody ever has within Psychic CEO. All the members have stayed this entire time since I began Psychic CEO because it is so insanely valuable. And the testimonials, you can see them on the page. They are on another level. So I'll leave that link in the description box for you to check out if you're really serious about manifesting and changing your life and being part of a community where you get mentorship, you get business advice and insight through manifestation, spirituality, tarot. That's what Psychic CEO is all about. It's literally a business investment, okay? It is a business expense. It's not just readings for fun. Now, my beautiful soul of group number 2, the month of December, coming back to the 9 of Water card, it is a highly favorable month in love, especially. And why I see that is because you being a bit of a shark and putting your needs first, it's impressive in love. I see here within the 6 of Pentacles reversed, it's like finally you are not always giving. That was getting on love's nerves. Your love life was like, group number 2 needs to stop always being the one who's giving, always being the one who is overextending themselves, always being the one who is bowing down to everyone else, who is making everyone else uncomfortable. Meanwhile, number 2, you're uncomfortable, or meanwhile your needs are not even being met. And that gives you this air of, I don't want to say desperation, but it just gave you a little bit less of a respectable air for any new person that came into your life. But now in December, when you're like, no, it is shark time, it's time for me to get everything I've always wanted, the tables have turned, things have changed, and it's really amazing to see how now you're receiving a lot more than you're giving. That's why the 6 of Pentacles also showed up in reverse, my gorgeous soul. So let me just show you the 6 of Pentacles upright. So that's where you are receiving a little bit, but look at how large the coins are and how many more coins you're giving and you're willing to be generous with. And you're receiving a little bit in return. These 2 gold coins, of course, also they are gold. They might be of more value than the silver. However, you are giving out more. That's what is clearly depicted here in the 6 of Pentacles. But this card showed up in reverse, which is to tell us that has come to an end. There's no continuation of that pattern. Now we have another card that we have yet to uncover. As I was shuffling, I just laid it down so we could finish the message in the 6 of Pentacles. I laid it down upside down so we can reveal it right now, group number 2. Let's see what we're gonna get. We have the Page of Crystals in reverse. The Page of Crystals in reverse shows doubt leaving your body, fear leaving your body. The Page of Crystals is the beginner, the page, the naive one, the baby of the suit of crystals, which corresponds to the element of fire, and the naivete, the fear of not being enough, of not having enough experience, of being the one who's new, of being the one who doesn't know. It's gone. Group number 2, you're not concerning yourself with that anymore, because also you are looking at other examples and you're taking people as inspiration who behave like they know everything. Meanwhile, you know that they know nothing. You know they are not qualified to be behaving the way they're behaving, and yet they do it with the largest, most highest form of confidence humanly possible. And you're just like, while I'm not going to be that delusional and put a business and other people at risk by pretending that I know things that I don't, I am going to cut off a little slice of that cake of confidence, and I'm gonna give myself a little bit of an extra pat on the back because I deserve it. Let's see what else Spirit wants to say. All right, so we have quite a few letters here. One popped out outside of the frame. All right, I'm already getting fame here. So the month of December bringing you more fame, increase in followers, group number 2. Fame and fortune. Fame LA. You're going to LA, group number 2. Fame is coming your way. LA is calling you. So we definitely have fame in LA and a connection to you seeing how you can become famous for something that you're really good at, okay, something creative. The suit of crystals, which showed up so much, we had it in the page of crystals, we had it in the 2 of crystals, the ace of crystals. This showing up so deeply, it shows that you are seeing this path to fame and how you will eventually end up moving to LA and becoming the person that you've dreamt of being. All right, so that is exhibit 1. Then what we also have here is lame, right? Lame is something that means kind of tired, kind of in need of a break. So lame AF. I want you to understand that there are people with whom you best not share what you want to accomplish. Okay, you best not share with them everything that you want to do, because there's no point in sharing with a person who has a very small mind and who's just going to make you feel as though your dreams are out of reach, because they are not. Spirit literally told you you're going to be famous in LA. What we are also getting here is flame. We spoke about the suit of crystals, how the suit of crystals is the suit of the element of fire, and flame showing up as a message that we have here within your reading tells us that you are deeply connected to the side of you that is fire. So your creative side. This is the most amazing time for you to write, for you to create music, for you to create art, for you to do anything that is your creative expression. And then what I also see here is that we have male, right? We have some sort of male that is important in your life with the initials A and F, and having male influence in your creative ventures. Male influence can help you if you're, for example, looking to get something done, like you're seeking a producer, you are seeking for someone who can help you execute your vision, that finishing touch that you are not an expert at. That's one thing that I'm seeing here when it comes to your December 2024. Don't be shy to reach out. Don't be shy to make that new connection. Don't be shy to make that new connection, group number 2. So I am sensing we have far more messages that are still awaiting us for your month of December. Leave a unicorn emoji below in the comment section, not just to let me and others know that you're part of the unicorn family, but also as a representation that you're still here within group number 2, because that's the only way anyone would know. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cleanse and clear the space out, and then I'll be right back for us to delve even more deeply into your reading for the upcoming month of December, so you can be as prepared as possible and know every single last detail. So I'll catch you in just a moment's time. Hello, my gorgeous soul of group number 2. Welcome back to your December prediction. So let's get more deeply into it, shall we? We've got the fig, you're vital, and the stock, you're extremely focused. So with vitality and feeling strong in your energy also comes focus. I see that especially when it comes to financial matters and your professional life, Taurus is a earth sign that is said to be practical, reliable, steady, and is good with finances. And here we have the sign of Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of growth, of higher education. So I see that there are some things, few things you learned in school that you are now applying during the month of December to your career. Finally, you find that some of the discipline that going to school taught you is actually something you can now employ and you can use in your own professional life, because when you look around the room, nobody fought as hard as you did to get to this stage, and you're sure as hell not going to allow for anyone to overtake you with how far you've already come and how much adversity you have been able to slay. Group number 2. I see here in the Knight of Pentacles, which is the Knight of the element of Earth. As you can see here, we've got this pentacle, which is represented in the form of this coin. This vanilla black tea is really hitting. Now, the Knight of Pentacles represents us taking a leap and taking some sort of huge risk when it comes to our career. So I am getting this like investing, perhaps investing in stocks or investing a lot in a online course or platform in higher education. So it's like you're investing in yourself, but in the end you want this investment in yourself to also pay off monetarily. That's what I'm seeing here in the Knight of Pentacles. And then the Hermit shows me that December is about going ghost in so many ways, because there's already too many people and social activities happening around you. There's too many get-togethers. That makes you feel even more like you need alone time, like you need time for you and to really focus on what you want and what you desire out of 2025. Now, the stock as well as the Hermit connected tells me that it's far easier for you in December to say no to people. So in the past, you would have just out of courtesy, out of trying to be kind and not hurt anyone's feelings or rub anyone the wrong way, you would try to like go to as many social engagements as you possibly can. You would try to say yes to everyone, and you were not as selective. But I see here now with the stock, you are super selective. Group number 2, you're not just going to show up anywhere and everywhere because others are going there. No, I see here within the Hermit, you would rather be alone than be in a group of people that don't inspire you. And okay, the Ace of Cups, there's another reason why you would rather be alone. This represents the periwinkle, by the way. And the reason for this is if you are already in a relationship, the romance and the love is reignited and you're wanting to spend more time with your partner. If you're single, I want you to know someone interesting is coming into your life and you want to spend time in this little cave of hermit mode with them. It's like being away from the hustle and bustle of December in your own little private sanctuary and world with this person, where you can develop this connection. You can see where the relationship goes. It's just at the beginning. It's exciting, it's fresh, it's new. That's what I'm getting here in the Ace of Cups for you. And then we've got the Page of Cups too, which is a representation of you texting lots, calling each other lots. It's just like in this fresh beginning stage of really being in love, of being almost like kids again. I'm getting a very childlike type of energy, and you are feeling so invigorated by your love life during the month of December, and it feels like it's something new, it's something exciting, it's giving you energy. Even though it's basically taking up time, it's still giving you energy. I don't know if you've ever experienced that in love. You know, when you're in love and rather than feeling like being with them, even if you've had the longest day ever, like it would make you feel even more tired, being around them energizes you. Being around them is like the only thing you want after the worst day ever. That's the kind of energy that I see here in December. And then Spirit brings us the tortoise and the angel. Oh, the This is such a beautiful combination. My gorgeous soul of group number 2. Now the angel tells us that you are completely protected from harm. You're spiritually guided during the month of December. And the tortoise is about slowly but surely getting ahead and not rushing anything. So enjoy the love. Enjoy the fact that you are feeling amazing in your body, in your soul. Enjoy being a little bit of like the center of attention. That's what I'm also getting here. And enjoy the fact that your angels are near. They're guiding you. They want you to get through December feeling protected and knowing that you are indeed never alone. Group number 2. So we have some cards that popped into your reading. These are quite a few cards. So we'll go through them card by card, group number 2, as there are so many. Let's take our time. So first we've got the tree. Affairs with your family during the month of December. So having time that you spend with family is really important, as we also have the seahorse. And the seahorse, I put this in my below the surface oracle deck that I created as well. The seahorse stands for reverse roles, because in case you didn't know that, not only does the seahorse represent family matters, but the male seahorse also carries out the pregnancy in seahorses. And I want you to know that being like the black sheep of the family, being the odd one out, is something that is always very evident during this month of the year. But nevertheless, it's not something that I want you to be too concerned with. It's not something that is going to affect you negatively, as here within the jug, I see a very lighthearted and carefree time. Despite the fact that we also received the broken ring, which is parting of the ways in either romance or business. So because this is showing up in connection to the angel and the jug. So the angel is all about you being protected. The jug shows us a lighthearted, great time. The seahorse and the tree, they both represent family matters. This is a very cordial going apart, going separate ways. This is separate ways that both parties wanted in this sense, you know? And of course it won't be easy. I see perhaps even, let's read into more of these cards. You've got the dog far away and the dog close up. What are the odds? So pleasure with a close friend, and then a distant friend is thinking about you. All right, so this does tell me that what's happening here is some personal relationships that are parting. So pleasure with a very close friend, having a lot of very close people around you, so you don't notice that actually there's like someone missing. So you don't notice that there has been a breakup, there has been a parting of ways. But what I am also getting is just the end of a business relationship, the end of a job, someone quitting, stepping into something new when it comes to career. There's something that just won't stop when it comes to business, that just keeps coming up as a message. I keep getting this Sanchez, Rodriguez. I'm getting like a kind of Latin, is that the way to put it? Like Latin last name, like I said, like Cruz, Sanchez, Rodriguez. Someone with that name and a career business deal that's coming to an end, a career connection, because the cause letters tells me like you need something more, you need something different, you need a change. You are the kind of person, we've also got the number 3 here, who loves to connect with other people really deeply. We also have the symbol of Cancer, and you like to work together with other people. And when you are working in a place or you're doing a job where there's only lackluster effort that is being put in, it's something you can't stand and you can't stay in for too long, because it does something to you internally that just makes you want to escape the situation. And here in the Kent Pumpkin, your guides are communicating to us within your reading that it completely strips you of your productivity. Because the thing with you, and we have Cancer again, a repetition of this sign, and then we also have the number 8, which is an abundance number. So the thing that we're receiving here is your productivity and what you can accomplish is limitless and it's endless when you are in the right spot. When you are in a spot where you're inspired, where you're around the right people. But when you are drained of your mission and of feeling like there is this collective want of creating something amazing, that's when the fire kind of goes out. That's when we can count on you to check out and to look for a new job and a new place to be. Because while others may sit out the situation for longer or until like a company perishes, you leave way, way ahead of time when you see that things are not going anywhere. Next up, we've got slippery. That's exactly what you are in December. Group number 2. People should not underestimate the growth you've done. People should not underestimate your willingness to leave. You're not going to fight. You're not going to scream. A slippery surface or object, etc., is difficult to move on or to hold because it is smooth, wet, or covered in something such as ice or oil. So you are hard to get a hold of in December. A lot of do not disturb mode, a lot of phone in airplane mode, and a lot of you just literally not being available for anything that makes you feel like it is just drama and tension for no reason. You're not available for anything that gnaws at your productivity. That's just not something you're doing. It's not something that we're even available for during the month of December. My gorgeous soul of group number 2. Let's delve a little more deeply into it. We've also got R and N. And then we have S and A. Okay, so I am getting snarl. I'm getting this snare or snarl. All right, if we either had an L or an E, we would have this like snar kind of snare. A little bit of you snaring at a situation and telling others to just get the hell away if they're just being kind of negative, kind of Debbie Downers. And then we have NARS, the very popular makeup brand, which I see you will receive something of during the month of December. Whether it's your thing or not, it's just a gift that someone wants to give to you. And perhaps it's like a blush, something like a eyeshadow palette, mascara, lip gloss. And then we also have E and W. All right. So one thing that I see here is like we and being a team is the whole motto for December. You become very slippery when you're noticing that someone is not a team player. You've realized that while you may be very introverted in many ways, you also really do crave the feeling of a family, of closeness, and of being a we, being a unit, being a team. I see that here in the tree and the seahorse, which both stand for family matters and your family affairs. And I can see that those are the most important to you. That is where you're spending all of your time in December happily. And it doesn't matter whether you are single, whether you have a partner, you are making sure that you're spending as much time as possible with those whom you're related to. And of course, your chosen family is sometimes just as important, if not more important, as the family that you were born into or your family by DNA. It really kind of depends on your situation and who makes you feel like more of a we, right? So one thing that I am also getting here, wars, which no one likes to see, no one wants to acknowledge, no one wants to think that this might be a possibility, right? But what we also then finally have received is this snare. Snare and W remains, so not being afraid to do music as well. I'm getting these bass kind of instruments, the drums. And I want you to know here, when it comes to your month of December, spend time with family because you'll never regret it. Have the best time ever. Enjoy your love life and everything that's happening. And close off 2024 like you truly only have one life, which you do. But remind yourself of it and have fun. Have the best time. Close off the year with a bang and feeling like you didn't leave anything on the table. Literally every single day, live as though it's your last. Use up all of your energy. Don't think about tomorrow and then do it tomorrow again. Chances are, yeah, okay, if you need rest, that there will come a time where you do have to just lay down and take the rest. But sometimes we don't understand how much we are capable of when it comes to experiencing life, putting in work, doing physical activity as well, physically hard things, emotionally hard things, and we hand in a towel too soon, which is one thing that your guides are trying to tell you. Don't do that during the month of December. Don't allow yourself to give in too soon. Push yourself to the edge. See where your edge is and your limit is of both work and pleasure and fun, how much sleep you truly need, and know that right now you are so vital, you're so full of energy. It's not going to have like long-term negative effects. It's literally you figuring out your own limits and your own comfort zones. So my gorgeous soul of group number 2, this is your December prediction that I've received for you. I trust that this resonated with you. Make sure you check out my Unicorn Army only Psychic CEO link and also membership offer. You guys, Psychic CEO is the most amazing manifestation and tarot platform. There's nothing else like it on the internet. For the first 100 days of being a member, you receive a daily tarot reading. Isn't that crazy? Every single day. For more than 3 months, it's for the first 100 days that you are a member. And of course, new Psychic CEO videos drop all the time on manifestation and also creating the life of your dreams. So don't sleep on this. Don't say I didn't tell you so. And your time is now. If not now, then when? Let's not be here at the same spot, the same time next year, talking about how we want to invest in ourselves and we'll invest in ourselves when we have this, or when, you know, the sun is shining a certain way, or when we have this number in our bank account. The whole point is that when you invest in yourself, you will invest in yourself that will create that number in your bank account, that will make it feel like the sun is shining every day, that will finally make you feel like you are ready for life. So just make sure, group number 2, that you live to the fullest in December. That's the long story short. Don't leave anything on the table. So group number 2, wherever you are on this gorgeous planet, I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of our upcoming readings together. Hello, my lovely soul of group number 3. You chose the Muse Tarot as well as the Amethyst crystal. This is the beautiful amethyst crystal that I'm sure you are familiar with. This is a very common crystal that brings out your intuition and your psychic abilities. So I'll put it right up here so its energies can seep through into your realm, as energies are not constrained by time or space. Energies live within the 4D and break all limitations of our 3D existence. So let's move into it, my gorgeous soul of group number 3, and see what's coming towards you during the month of December. So first up, we've got the 2 of inspiration. You are already planning 2025. You are so inspired. Look at you looking into the future. Look at you deciding what you want, looking through the looking hole basically, and seeing a future that is so bright. So I see a huge increase in you feeling inspiration and you feeling motivation for 2025, and also really having this internal knowing that something is going to shift, something is going to be different in the best possible way, and you are deciding what you want to place your attention and your focus on. Then we've got the Two of Materials. So the number 2 has showed up twice for you. The number 2 in numerology is a number of partnership. It is also a number of finding balance or making a decision. The Two of Inspiration is about making decisions, as it is the 2 of the element of fire, which is a phallic element, which urges you to decide what you want to focus on. And then the Two of Materials is a number 2 that is that of partnership and balance, as the suit of materials is the suit of the element of earth, which in the traditional tarot would be called pentacles. Inspiration would be called wands. And pentacles are a feminine suit that's all about receiving, holding together, as you can see, and balancing different areas of your life. So what comes first in December is you're deciding exactly what you want for the upcoming year, for the rest of your life, basically. And then you're deciding that come hell, come high water, come any kind of circumstance, you will find a way to balance your family time, to balance you time, to balance finances, to balance having time to spend by yourself, but also working on the business and creating the kind of security that you want for your future. You are going to do it all. That's what I see that you're deciding during the month of December. You're not playing around, group number 3. The Muse of Voices is an indication here that the month of December is a time of being completely outspoken and real. You will be invited to a lot of different events, and some of them here in the Muse of Voices will make you feel like you wish you had a twin, because there's so much going on and there's so much to do. You will have to say no to some things. We have 2 showing up everywhere. You see here how we have 2 of you, like mirrored basically, and we've got 2 of these kites in the air. So 2 is showing up everywhere. I'm getting angel number 222 for you, group number 3. So when you see this angel number, don't be surprised. It is part of your path in December, and it's basically like your lucky number for this month. Furthermore, I want you to know here that 2 is here to make you understand that you get to choose, you get to say no. Once you have decided you want something, then go full force to make sure that it works and that you create a balance between your life and your commitments that you have said yes to. So 2 can serve you when applied properly. And another thing I am also getting here for December is a lot of muted colors, but then pops of red, pops of orange. I see here within the hummingbird everything happening so quickly during the month of December. And you are actually losing weight. Other people are gaining weight. You are becoming more dainty in December. Everyone else is going way overboard, but some reason for you, group number 3, you're really keeping it together. You are staying on track when it comes to your workouts, when it comes to your diet, in the sense of staying healthy, staying in the shape that you feel most comfortable in, and within the weight that you feel most comfortable in. And I see here within the horse, you understand discipline is freedom. To you, being disciplined doesn't mean that you are saying no to things or you're missing out on life. You understand that if you're disciplined and if you do the things that need to be done, that gives you freedom, because you will be stable financially, you will be stable emotionally, you will be stable in every sense of the word, which then gives you freedom to do what you want without overthinking and being afraid and knowing that you still have an endlessly long to-do list. So the hummingbird and the horse shows that you know what needs to be done, you tackle it, you get it done, and then you enjoy your freedom. Like, you're not about to sit around here and continue to let procrastination ruin your sanity and your peace and your life. Neither are you allowing another person to do that. As I see here within the beaver, you understand you are the creator. The beaver creates new landscapes and new habitats within nature, quite literally speaking, through creating these different dams in different places. The beaver literally is a habitat creator and is actually super impactful, more impactful than people understand that the beaver really is. And you are understanding here during the month of December the more that you just get your things done that need to be done, and the more seriously you take your success, the more you are creating the habitat that you want to live in, not just for yourself, but also for your family and anyone around you. The beaver shows me an indication of you being a hard worker and a very creative person in attaining the things that you desire. Someone else, in order to get their dream home, might go from A to B. So just get that normal 9 to 5, do that for a couple decades, and then eventually save up enough money to buy that home. You, my friend of group number 3, you are different. You understand that sometimes you have to work fast, you have to work hard, you have to sacrifice in the now for the delayed gratification of freedom and getting things that are a little elevated from the others. Let me just put it that way. And I see here within the crow, you like nice things, group number 3. It's not that you have shiny object syndrome and you think everything that glitters is gold and the most important for you is to just have things that are expensive, exclusive, and hard to get. No. But you can appreciate craftsmanship. You can appreciate things that are rare. You can appreciate the fact that when you are successful, it is actually just a representation of you being disciplined, putting in the work, you being able to afford a nicer lifestyle than other people who came from your background, who are in your age, who had the exact same opportunities as you did, that it is actually a reflection of your character. It is a reflection of what you are willing to sacrifice and do and put in order to have the freedom to have these things. And here within the crow, I do definitely see that you got your eyes on some very costly things during the month of December, and you are attaining them. I see that you're getting yourself, either buy yourself something really expensive for Christmas, or someone is gifting you this really, really expensive thing. I see here within the crow, it's literally the most expensive gift you've ever gotten in your entire life. So the crow shows me here that it's a time for you to celebrate. That's for sure, group number 3. Next up, the 4 of Blades. You will need to take some rest. My goodness, group number 3, you are partying a lot. You are doing a lot. You are working hard and partying hard during the month of December. What else is new, right? But the 4 of Blades definitely shows me here that in many ways you have this guilt because, as already mentioned, you wish you had a twin, as that Ariana Grande song goes. Which one is that? I've been on a roll. Where have you been? Been real. Something with my soul. Where have you been? Is your GPS even on? Where have you been? Something like that is the lyrics. Can't remember who the collab is with or what the song was, but coming back to the 4 of Blades, because it is just an exceptionally busy month for you, it is a little bit hard to come to terms with having to say no to some people, not being able to be everywhere all the time with everybody. So there are some feelings of guilt, but group number 3, your guides are trying to say to you, don't be guilty. You are just one person. You're doing the best that you can. The 3 of Cups shows us you're celebrating, you're having fun, you're making those emotional connections, you're working on your relationships, you're solidifying them. Sometimes also being a little bit creative about how you can see people and meet with everyone at once can be a great way for you to kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, or shall I say even more than 2 birds with 1 stone. So think of, for example, doing just a very chill get together at your home, right? With a lot of people at once. So you don't have to individually go out and see people, but you can do it all at once. I know it's a lot of work to plan it and to execute it all in one go, but the thing is just like once you've done it, you've seen everyone and you've checked everyone off the list and everyone feels special. Wow, the 10 of Cups, which we receive next, it shows me here your love life is having this ultimate romantic moment. Okay, New Year's Eve kiss. Under the mistletoe, there are things that are happening, a real love, soulmate vibes is what I'm getting here in the 10 of Cups. And with the 3 of Cups, it shows me that meeting if you're single, that is, meeting someone who gives you this soulmate feeling that you will spend the New Year's Eve with, and you meet them during a party earlier in December where you're celebrating with other people. Other people will introduce you to this person. You will meet them organically, not online or in any other way. Now, if you are in a committed relationship, I want you to know here the Ten of Cups shows a complete celebration of this relationship. So maybe that's even your anniversary time, or just a time where you have such great memories of not just being together, but also celebrating with friends and family, and choosing people to be around that are drama free, because you have actually literally cut some people out of your lives that were not good for your relationship, and you're choosing not to celebrate with them. And that makes December so wonderful. That makes December the most amazing time, because you chose your happiness and your peace over everything. And that takes guts, group number 3. That takes real inner strength, and it takes a very strong relationship to be able to weather that storm. So let's move a little bit more deeply into your reading, group number 3, shall we? So next up here, we have the thought. Now within thought, you are looking at ways in which you can control your mind a little bit more. I see that things are running rampant. You are really overthinking where you want to live next, where you want to move, how you're going to get this house. That's what I'm getting here in thought, and the beaver and the horse. You want freedom, you want investment properties, you want rentals that are going to give you monthly recurring income, where you just have a passive stream of income and you don't have to worry. That's what I'm seeing here in your thoughts. There's so much going on about how you want to create a type of financial wall and stability for you and your family that nothing can shake and nothing can break. And the Queen of Air tells me that in December you will be purchasing a lot of literature and books and listening into podcasts on things like finance, building your financial IQ, your financial intelligence, making sure that you are financially literate, that you understand a lot of things about finances, you understand a lot of things about how it works, how investments work, how you can invest smartly, how you can create something that is stable for your family, that is stable for the family that you're still adding on, that you're still building. So we have R, E, then we have O, and we have G. Okay, so we have this kind of rogue, okay? You're going rogue, you're going a little crazy, you're going a little off grid, so to say, my gorgeous soul of group number 3. And then one thing that I'm also getting here is the beginning of the name George. All right, we have Gior. I'm getting George. George is celebrating with us during the month of December, group number 3. And one of the things that I want you to be very aware of when it comes to these celebrations is that when you have a thought about a person, believe it. That's what I see here within thought. You have this very innate knowing, let me just put our letters away, this innate knowing of whether someone is real or not, whether someone is telling the truth or not. There's nothing that matters so much here during the month of December, like nothing that will be revealed that is so important whether someone told you the truth or not. It's going to be like little things, little details, and so on. What will be more important is the food. But just to finish this thought here of your thought card, basically, if you feel someone is off, believe your thought. Believe what comes into your mind. Believe the messages from your own angels and guides in spirit. That's all. Group number 3, that's all. Let's move on. So we've got the food. The food is amazing. Material that provides living things with the nutrients they need for energy and growth. The things that people or animals eat. Literally, food is off the charts. Food is the center of attention during the month of December. Food is banging. And I'm excited for you, group number 3. And I want you to know here, when it comes to food, be autonomous. Eat what you want to eat. Eat as much as you want to eat. And also don't let people to push more or less on you. You know what's good for your body. You know what feels good in your soul. And I want you to focus also on having all of the guilty pleasures while you're celebrating. Remember, you can have everything, just not all at once and in large quantities, but you can have everything, even the unhealthy stuff. Just make sure that in a 80-20 ratio, you try to do 80% things that work well with your body, that are healthy for you, Everyone has a different body. Everyone has a different ideal diet. And then the 20%, you go a little rogue, right? You do the little Roger that. We're missing the U for rogue, and we're missing the R for Roger, but phonetically, you get where Spirit is going with this group number 3. So there are some more messages to uncover. I can just sense that. I'm going to clear and cleanse the space right now, and then I'll be back for us to delve even more deeply into your reading. So just hold on tight, group number 3, and I'll be right back for us to discuss more about your December 2024 predictions. Welcome back, my lovely soul of group number 3. Did you miss me? So let's move more deeply into your December prediction, shall we? So we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So there is a Knight of Pentacles that's leaving. I see here in the Seven of Swords, because you have found them out. The Knight of Pentacles is someone who is trying to get you to do something where you're signing a contract or you're signing the dotted line in some shape or form. They're trying to sell you something that is not all that it seems. And as soon as they realize that you're wise to it, as soon as they realize that you can tell this is not going to work out, that is when they're like sliding away. That's when they're packing up their things and they're leaving. They're making an exit. So this could even be like someone calling from one of those like phone like agencies, you know, when you ask yourself, where the hell did they even get my number from? And they're calling you about like some sort of like offer that doesn't exist. I don't even know what to call it, but I know that you know what I mean. And then we have the Devil in reverse. The thing is, you're so divinely protected, group number 3. These cards are showing up in reverse because, first of all, it doesn't faze you. Second of all, you're too smart for these games, for these tricks. Third of all, you're listening to your intuition. So in the Devil reverse, anything that may have been tempting, say a year ago, that may have sounded good, that may have sounded like, hey, maybe this is something, right now, you immediately already understand when a situation is not sincere and it's not for you, just energetically speaking. Like your energy reading skills are off the charts, basically. And during the month of December, you are absolutely not drawn to anything that not only seems too good to be true, but is too good to be true. So figuring out what your guides have to say to you, we've got first the ordinal number assigned to item number 1 in a series, the one position before any other in achievement, rank, quality, or time, the lowest gear in a motor vehicle. So I want you to know here that first is something that is a mindset in December, putting yourself first, the one position before any other, okay? An achievement, rank, quality, or time. You're not messing around during the month of December. You're not messing around in life, period, group number 3. And I see here within first that you also can kind of scope out people who claim to be first or the best, even though they're not, because it becomes very clear when you just ask a few simple questions. Now, the Six of Pentacles tells me that aside from sniffing out literally anything that is insincere, fake, or that is not meant for you, the Six of Pentacles shows us here that you've got some very full baskets, so an overflow and abundance of food, shelter that you can be at, you know, your own shelter, so to say. Also having an overflow and abundance of material items and possessions, and perhaps even money by the end of the month of December, believe it or not. Now, the Six of Pentacles definitely is indicating for you here that this is a time of prosperity coming towards you. Whereas with the Four of Wands, what you are now being urged to do is to use that prosperity and make it work for you. So whether it's you having like a lot of extra energy, time, or money, a lot of extra resources that you can put into something during the month of December, while everyone is thinking of spending and everyone is thinking of doing more in regards to consuming, in regards to giving out their resources, you are thinking about how you can make your resources work for you. So you're being extremely intelligent, quick, and witty, my beautiful soul of group number 3. And the Wheel of Fortune tells me here that when it comes to your month of December, you see everything as an opportunity, where others see like a challenge, a difficulty, something they're not sure of, something that might end up being like the wrong decision, etc., etc. You actually immediately see that in every challenge and everything that seems to the normal person as a bad thing, there are always winners. Even, for example, when we had the pandemic, when we had certain economic situations in the past couple years, profound ones, you understand that while there are a lot of people who are devastated, there's also a lot of people who are winning. There's a lot of people who are taking home a lot of power, a lot of extra financial gain, and a lot more might. Now, here within the Fool, you've not always thought this way. The Fool represents that the month of December is literally a time where you're understanding, okay, cool. Up until this point, there were a lot of people who are in positions of power who may have used times of tragedy to their advantage rather than trying to make sure everyone can be advantaged. But that's also why people like yourself exist, group number 3. And rather than trying to just go against the game or trying to fight the game, you're going to beat the game in its own making. Like, for example, being a woman in a male-dominated field, rather than trying to, scream out that it's not fair and people should be more like this or like that, you're far more strategic, because you know that when you use strategy and you get yourself to the top, that's where the decisions are made. People may give you a little pat on the back for being an advocate for rights, but does that really change anything when it comes to dynamic and rights and the way that gender roles are operated? Or does it actually happen when someone is strategic enough to put themselves in a position of power? Or does it actually happen when you play the game and you show strength for playing the game for such a long time until you get your aim, you get to that position where now you get to wear the pants, quite literally speaking, and you get to make some cutting off choices of old ways of thinking and operating. But to get to that position, you sometimes just have to play along. Sometimes you have to play the game. And as much as I want to say to you to just always speak your mind, there are certain scenarios where it's either you have your career or you speak your mind. And to force someone or to make someone feel like they are wrong for trying to protect their career, especially if you have responsibilities, if you have pets, kids, other family members you're taking care of, you can't just say, oh, I'm just gonna speak my mind because that's what's right, and if I get fired, I get fired. No. The pansy tells me here that in December you are actually completely attracting more responsibility, in the sense of people seeing you as a great leader and people seeing you as someone who has their emotions in check and understands how things work. So now you can have more responsibility. Now you are creating a scenario in which you are being trusted. And with Pansy and the Wheel of Fortune, I do see you are attracting someone that you didn't expect to come into your life. And I want us to use these Astro dice, figure out what kind of person this is. All right, so we have Capricorn energy right here. That's what our Astro dice told us. So with this Capricorn energy, this is legit somebody who is very hardworking, someone who respects your hard work as well. And this is an individual who has this really nice earth sign energy that gives you peace of mind. They don't want to play games. They're not interested in that. They're very attracted to your strength and to your intelligence, which is a new one. And here within the Sorel, you're being given affection by this person. This person is being very affectionate towards you. They're telling you how awesome that they think that you are. They're telling you how much they see you as a source of inspiration, how much they see in you someone who is not only strong, but who is also intelligent enough to understand how to work from the inside out, how to play the game from the inside out, and that you will have a very big effect on the field in which you're doing work, because you understand when to play along and when to be a rebel, because there's right timing for each one of these areas of life and each area of existence. So my gorgeous soul of group number 3, I am getting this message. It's time to clear and cleanse the space and then be back with more messages for you. So you don't have to lift a finger, you don't have to do a thing, but I can tell Spirit still has quite a bit to say about the month of December for you. So just lean back and relax as I cleanse the space, and I'll be back so we can delve more deeply into your December prediction. Hello, my gorgeous soul of group number 3. So we've got our divination board, and I can sense that we've got some more messages that need to be revealed for the month of December. So we've got act. Very interesting. Something that somebody does, the action of carrying something out. One of the main sections of a play or other dramatic performance. So there is something that's happening in December, an act. And an act can be, as the definition says, it can just be an action that somebody else carries out, or it could be someone playing, right? It can be someone pretending to be something that they're not. And then we've got focus. So this shows us here that actually this is about acting in a positive sense. This is about carrying out something, and there's a lot of focus that goes into it. To adjust your vision so that you see clearly and sharply, or become adjusted for clear vision. To adjust a lens so that the image viewed is clear and sharp. I want you to know here that you're completely focused on your actions in December to drive you forward. You are tired of being in the same spot you've been in these past couple years, and you know that to get something you've never had, you're going to have to act in a way that you never did in the past. So let's see what else that our guides have for you in regards to messages from the divine. Okay, I've got my charm bag here. Okay, so within the charm bag, we have a heart charm, then we have a bowl, and here we have this kind of like knitting kit with like yarn and 2 of these like knitting sticks. I'm not sure what they're called. So I do see here that you have a very stubborn head, but a pure soft heart, and you like to create. You're also someone who likes fashion that isn't too abrasive, that is soft. That's one thing that I'm getting here. All right, then we've also got the number 4, which is the number of building. The number 4 in numerology is a number of stability, and that's why you want to act in a focused manner and create something, because you want to create a legacy for your family, and you want to make sure that they are safe. Okay, then we've also got the number 12, which if we multiply 4 by 3, we receive 12. The 12th day of this month, the 12th month of the year, so December is that month of stability. And the 12th day is a magical day for you during the month of December. And that's when I want you to pay close attention to everything that goes on. So mark your calendar for the 12th day of December in 2024. It is a meaningful day. Mark your calendar. It is a Thursday, and more is going to transpire than you thought possible. So let's see what we're going to receive. Oh, when it comes to runes. Okay, we have a couple runes here. Let's start off with Vunyo, shall we? So Vunyo is the rune of joy. Vunyo is the rune of having success, peace, and a great time with other people. Then right here we also received the rune that corresponds to Uruz, I believe. Uruz represents strength. Uruz represents the ox as a spirit animal, and Uruz is the rune of power and courage. And then on Ask Again and Not Known, that's where we receive the rune of Manas. which is the rune of your culture and yourself, where I can tell there is a discrepancy between what your culture wants you to do and what you want to do, group number 3. So there's something that's going on there that's not 100% in tune. I want to see what that is. Okay, so what's not in tune here is Jupiter. Jupiter landed on yes. So it is a clear sign that that is what is not in tune for you, group number 3, and we'll get to Jupiter in a moment's time. Now, Jupiter is the planet of growth, but also higher education, and for example, communication and travel. You have a very different worldview of what education should look like and be like compared to what society is pushing on you, what your society and your community has pushed on you. You have a very different worldview about travel, other cultures, and being open-minded than a lot of the people around you, a lot of people that you grew up with. And you have a very different mindset when it comes to communication. So your family may have some things that are normal, like silent treatment, like being kind of a little bit avoidant when it comes to these things, or never talking about feelings, and you are completely different when it comes to that. So group number 3, this just shows that there are some differences going on here, and the whale is a huge indication for the fact that you have become this gentle giant where even if someone doesn't understand you, you're no longer in a phase and in a season of your life where you feel like you really want to explain yourself, or you feel bothered when someone does not understand what kind-hearted place you're coming from or what place of concern you're coming from. You just let it be, and you let people grow and evolve at their own pace. That's what I see here in the whale, and family is very important to you. And the sea serpent shows us that December is like a full circle kind of moment of everything making sense. So it makes sense why you think the way you think, why you go through certain emotional turmoils when you do. It makes sense why you have certain PTSDs and traumas because of the way that you grew up and the things that were deemed okay and the things that were allowed in your household. And it's all coming to this culmination, to this aha moment, to this moment of enlightenment in December where you're like, wait a second, what the F? This was actually so unhealthy. This was normal in our household. And even talking to others affected by it, so literally like siblings, other people within your family, and it's like this yeah. So in German, ja obviously means yes. And it's this huge like, oh my goodness, yes moment. This explains everything. That's what I'm getting here for you, group number 3. And it's shocking, but it's also like healing to finally come to this like yes realization moment. Then we also have Y, so J being a name, but this can also represent feeling excited, yeah? If we look at it phonetically, we've got J, which I really love that that showed up for us. And then adding even more into your reading, we have G and G. So I'm definitely getting Gaga, so listening to some Gaga during December once again. And then J and Y as initials for who you're going to be with, who you're going to hang out with. And one thing that I'm also getting here is this kind of like Lady Gaga music that you can sing along to and feeling connected again, not having listened to this in a really, really long time. And then I'm also getting Jag. So some sort of jaguar, and then obviously we have gay, which can be orientation when it comes to love, but it could also mean just being really happy. Someone that you know is getting a jag, a car, a jaguar, and that is making them really happy. That's making them very excited. Perhaps they are even into the same gender as they are, but I just want you to know here that for Christmas there is some jaguar action. You are feeling really excited, elated, and happy. And group number 3, this is a really awesome month that's coming towards you. I'm excited for all of these surprises you being focused and at the same time having these revelations, these epiphanies, these aha moments. It's going to be a really, really awesome month. So make sure that you leave a whale emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know you were here, group number 3, and you watched your reading all the way to the end. Don't forget to check out the Psychic CEO membership if you're really serious about manifestation. And also, literally, the first 100 days of you being a member, you receive a private reading every single day to guide you every single day of your Psychic CEO journey for the first 100 days. And this is really a life-changing space for all of you who are serious. I wanted to put all of my efforts into creating something that can change your life more profoundly than, for example, crystal jewelry ever would. Not to knock that, but just creating a platform where I can share all of the ways in which you can manifest and actually create a life that you love and that you desire in order for you to live this lifetime to the fullest extent. So group number 3, this is the reading that I received for you as our